I'm this is here and say special forces in Russia and could do Burkina. Even call last Friday.
Okay.
And second batch you could do here. Say I'm no Casano or Burkina no. The third batch of the special forces from Russia. Aqua could do Burkina. France soldier for being so called Burkina. Last week Tuesday. A China watching. France say Afedie. Abrantiano. Ibrahim Traore. Or Titi in the Krum for. Titi or Titi in the Krum for in so I'm France and 4 minor for bio. So my imagine say Ometuna by Negu. One person more yen and yellow. But the enemy then say Russia intervening. Say ompene. Russia say ompene. Sadema when you know ye, your man penny that than a decay. A cocky car, Traore won some US.
Don't pay that at the money here.
Danado. Or call US, Okoshia, or security couples.
I am not Mohammed Liberation as one channel.
That's right. It's a Traore Chia Lanado.
Oh, I see.
And from a very reliable source, let's say, also a military leader.
Yes.
But that could be between Akasa. But when you need to know. But from a reliable source, they can also on trust and I'm to just or did it to better.
So, but at that point, there's not know your president.
Share Moja, Kuria Ofinkrai. They could do Mankasi, Moja that will trim. And see, I say, on to me, you told to because on just up a panini. There was time now to one of Casa and some of the fat Ibrahim Traore. That foreign affairs minister, so to the chain. Obano, Mrs. Stephanie.
Ayoko
Botu not in chain. And she was surprised to win any African kind of by force. I heard their president take her. The boy Yamin Pai said, I am reliably informed. We share international security councils and then the platforms to be in maybe a Koswa. What you say, China is also not happy about the approach by France.
I see.
Donald Trump shared that making statement to be but one of the security couples I make a very funny comment say Africa can never be allowed to overtake the world.
Africa can never be allowed
to overtake the world.
Interesting.
And we share P5 member nations now. The permanent 5 war United Nations Security Council is one more veto power now. France can. And France is now struggling to survive because Burkina say all man coin.
Now, Osha Captain Smart ne komo ya wodie about Burkina Faso president Ibrahim Traore. Osha guy na the youngest military officer why successful in coup. Osanso ye the youngest president in the whole world as it stands now. Right now no ote as a maybe a story bi na me kire say France for air try say obo invade Burkina Faso. US for so say Ibrahim Traore or the US gold reserve no US Burkina Faso gold reserves no any Burkina Faso resource no enrich ne ho. Ama Burkina Faso crab ba say no Ibrahim Traore obaye 2 years after 3 years. Factories are what they like him. Guy no Osha democratic countries like Ghana, Yadono, other cool countries, I mean African continent and Burkina Faso because other European countries like France US they want to attack Burkina Faso because the guy is really bringing freedom. Or boa ama Africa united now. Okay, the conversations are what dia or Kasa no about Gaddafi di Libya acquire US for the Gaddafi de Faso. One unique thing about Ibrahim Traore they said or disciplined military officer. O share the way we see in Nyoma even ni pajamas crowd that come say military uniform. Because we are cool leaders for now. You will be more mobile. They came in as a military men, but obu free sono they went out as a political party leaders. What you say? And Osha eye Ibrahim Traore, a kwan de Burkina Faso factories are obi na very unique. Now, a very profound conversation be also about eye Ibrahim Traore of eye Burkina Faso. Yankoni ko tie bimra.
Why is this current Burkina president Wabeye popular, and everyone is talking about him?
Well, first of all, everybody can say the highlights on him is because he's the youngest president of the world as we speak. Anyone. The highlights of him is the youngest military officer having a nation on his back and then carrying a nation on his shoulder. Among all the revolutions on the continent Africa, Sankara was short-lived. We were not 2 years and counting, on to 3 years, not yet. But one can see a strong difference between the revolutions upon revolutions, coup d'etats upon coup d'etat, military putsch and takeovers on the continent. So this is one of an exemplary. A coup bia and now a young man bia, we receive the massive support and the enthusiasm of all walks of life on the continent of Africa, including the so-called democratic nations of Africa. Their citizens are even calling for emulation or calling for something similar. That does not mean say they are promoting revolution, but then they are promoting say if the spirit of what this gentleman has put in there to revive, survive, and then to make up his nation, and the highlights, Ababe very enviable, and now Ababe the talk of the continent and for that matter, talk of the world. It has nothing to, but rather a kwanya wafaswa office or man. One of the notable things is that with my branding what a subject may describe President Mama no share uniform. Say from the one or president, even his own pajamas or the dano a military attire or share any other dress than military attire.
Wow.
That is also something exemplary. It is the spirit of revolution. That revolution of his style Ubitima compared to Hugo Chavez, Ubitima compared to Fidel Castro, and then Ubitima I refer to the Cuban leaders before Fidel Castro. And I think that the world is seeing a kind of Fidel Castro, Colonel Muammar Gaddafi in him, and for that matter, a proper revolutionarist. Not anything special.
Okay. Now, as I say, no, yes, it's not about say a war in a military uniform, and Neymar or portray as a president. Then no nama we're gaining this popularity.
Yes, very much. Military uniform, they say, even in Kumasi Conference of 4 billion soldiers and so on. And the business road to brigade with all due respect to Ghanaian military. But when posture, national, one would call say a Jumana military Nankasa any day. And then he portray himself as a proper military person. So if you put this one aside, so I watch all the military, especially the coup d'etats I experienced. Within a year, two, once we started a pretty politics. Within a year, no, I started a pretty transition, and then on one more particular. Typical example, we share the one before all of them or you coup. Ideally, Dumboya, Mahmoud Dumboya of Guinea. Where is Dumboya? He came up, one would have thought, said Dumboya, and a neighbor Jumana, not we, you know. But some of us in Dumboya ni there, him so a French protege. The coup was a stage coup. It was not a coup.
Abujanto ne wa conversation is itiam. Enti oyobi a on say obekaya Guinea. Mamadou Damboya, he came in as a military man, but since you know he is nowhere to be found. yɛntene nka biem sɛsie no the man in the limelight Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso yɛnyɛ him sɛ Burkina so Ghana yɛ neighboring country I think say recently crowd no yet say na terrorists for person attacking the president mama mu kopie mu so right now no I have to say African continent ni we are supporting Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso and ye bomb paye say susu ye pani adwen pa owoma Burkina Faso no nyankopon be den ebe boan ye do asi subscribe na hit notification bell no so yakro bibia stay safe.